Hey, everybody. Glenn Hausman here. Hope you're all having a wonderful, exciting day. We're here in Dallas live at AHOACon 21. I want to thank Red Roof for being a good sponsor of this studio that we have here. If you're here at AHOA, you can hear us out here on the show floor. You can hear all the excitement. You can hear all of the noise. You hear all of the thousands of people pouring in to the trade show right now. It's super excited. Anthony's away on assignment right now, so sorry about that. But we've got a couple of great guests today, my friends over at Almo Hospitality, who have really been amazing supporters here at No Vacancy and personal friends of mine. Let's welcome to the show Mr. Stephen McKay and Eric Steiner. Hey, guys, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. It's been a while since I've been on with you. This being at the show is so exciting. Listen to all the buzz.
I know. It's really exciting. I'm sorry it's been so long, but, you know, we have this rigorous process that you have to go through, Stephen, in order to come back. There was a voting, there was meeting, the board had to get together, but I pushed it through for you there.
It's like the Olympic trials. I just made it in, right?
Yeah. Hey, and we got Eric Steiner over here, who's joined by my shoulder. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing well, Glenn. Thanks for having me. First time on the show live, and really excited to be here and be a part of AHOA.
It certainly is. It's really, really exciting to have everybody here and being at AHOA. And my goodness, what excitement and energy there is. Eric, let me just start it off with you. How are you feeling being back on the road, being at events, and seeing thousands of people all gathering together?
It's been fantastic. It's been awesome to reconnect with people, some people we haven't seen in 18, 20 months plus, and just to see where the industry is, where it's headed over the next 6, 12, 18 months as well. And it's just really exciting. Great attendance here, great camaraderie amongst old friends, and reconnecting with everyone has been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how are you feeling there, Stephen?
I've been so used to Zoom that seeing people live has kind of got me a little confused, to tell you the truth. Someone reaches out with their hand to shake their hand or do a hug, and it's just amazing. And there's nothing beats being here personally, Glenn, and seeing this happening. It's a true revival. So excited to be at my first trade show.
So being that it's your first trade show, Eric, I guess it is for you as well after a long time. You guys must be insanely exhausted. This is like my third or fourth one, second week in a row, and I got to tell you, I'm tired. How are you all feeling?
I can tell you my step count has been through the roof these last 24 hours or so. So we're tracking that pretty well. To get from one end of the convention floor to the other has been quite the task.
It sure is. Stephen, are you taking any special precautions over here? I know I'm doing a lot of foot care because of that particular issue that he's talking about.
I've never stretched so much in my life. I got back, I was stretching my back, my big toe, my fingers. It was just crazy.
Well, travel fitness, is important in these days.
And it's a great show floor, man. It's tremendous. But because of social distancing, it's a really large floor.
And large floor, Stephen. 8 football fields, they say.
Yeah, and it just doesn't. It's not normally that big. So to Eric's point, the step count is there, but. Man, just going to these booths and seeing the excitement in people and the interactions that are going on, you just know that it's coming back.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's great. So many people are walking by and waving at us and saying hello. The energy is really palpable. And I got to tell you, it's so different than when we've done this stuff before and we're all in our silos all alone. Just like you were saying, Stephen, the Zoom thing, enough is enough. Sure, it's good for some things, but it's not really good for life. But Eric, it must feel really good for you to be out meeting with people again in person, getting back to business in a real meaningful way where you can connect with people instead of just having those fake kind of connections online.
There's no substitute for just being in person and being together and sharing that camaraderie. We have a lot of partners on the show floor today, and and yesterday and tomorrow. And it's just really fantastic to reconnect with everybody. Yeah,
so Stephen, you've got to change your whole way of doing things with trade shows. The universe has changed. The way that we approach each other is kind of changing. And I don't mean specifically because of COVID. I mean really about acceleration of trends that were already rooted in the marketplace. You guys have been watching this show for the last year and a half or so. You understand that that is really what's been happening. So, Stephen, I know this is your first trade show. You're probably thinking about things a little bit differently. How are you looking at that now in a strategic sort of way to have the best opportunities for Almo Hospitality as possible?
Well, first of all, we want to talk with people and see how their business is, see how the market's coming back, and see where we can best fit their needs. With the product supply challenges supply chain challenges that we're having, it's okay. What can we provide you that's necessary? What can you wait for? What is your needs? And so we're here to find out what the needs are, so that we can purchase accordingly and plan accordingly for the hotel's needs. Because we want to know, are the new builds going to finish? Are the refurbs going to happen?
Right.
And so all of that information is something that we need to take back to our team and work out our supply chain and ordering and all that sort of stuff for our customers.
So, Eric, that makes a whole lot of sense to me. You're trying to get an assessment of what's actually happening out there. We've been talking a lot about what we think is happening out there, but really learning who's building, what projects are continuing, who's getting into renovations, understanding that supply chain. That's probably playing in a lot into how you're thinking right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this show in particular, and being in person for the first time in quite a while, is really a good metric of where the industry is and where it's going.
Right.
I think between following your show, reading other publications in the industry.
Wait, there's other publications in the industry?
Yeah, a few. But just seeing the metrics out there, I think that we're all a little bit surprised on how quickly some of the industry has recovered. RevPAR numbers are up, revenue numbers are up, and I think this is a good gauge, and this is one of the reasons why we want to be here, to really take the pulse and take the temperature, no pun intended, of the industry and where people are going. And I think this consecutive excitement and how busy things are, a few consecutive more months of this will lead to more expenditure, more CapEx expenditure, more OpEx expenditure that has been, put on hold for the last year and a half.
Right. So, Stephen, how are you seeing, what are you actually learning in day one as we get started on day two?
What we're learning is that it's not a full revival.
Right.
It's a slow revival, and certainly those that are in the vacation areas have been doing extremely well, and that business travel is a little slower to come back.
Yep.
And I think that what we're looking for is, okay, when will the business travel happen? And quite frankly, it's so neat to see that here in Dallas, we've got all these attendees at AHOA. Well, all the hotels here in Dallas are getting revenue from it.
Yep.
And every restaurant that we've been to has been full.
Yep.
So it's fantastic to see that. So again, it's just getting that gauge, and this being the first trade show, I think we're going to come away with a lot from it. And then we've got a couple of other trade shows coming up that Glenn, in the industry shortly. And I feel like it'll come back a little faster, funnily enough, than people thought it first would. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. And in regard to that business traveler here on No Vacancy Live, we've really been bullish about it coming back. I don't really believe, my partner Anthony doesn't really believe that it's going to be gone for a long time. The whole notion that Zoom is going to change the way that we interact with other human beings is, I think, short-sighted in my opinion. We need to get together. We need to connect with people. We need to have real relationships, just like our friends over at Red Roof like to say, real relationships, genuine results. But also because that's just it's just the way that people really want to do business. And as soon as a company sees that their competitor is going out on the road and getting deals done and they're not, I think that's what's going to break open the business travel thing. Eric, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. I mean, we are in the hospitality industry. We want to take care of people. Like you said, we want to build relationships with people. And this is what this industry is all about. It's just being together. It's not being on Zoom. It's being together. And just sharing information, creating new relationships, developing new business. And I think the hospitality industry specifically is probably very unique versus maybe some other, finance markets and things in other areas of business. But this industry specifically is probably more about people than most others.
Yeah, it sure is. We got Jesse McMullen says, good morning, Jesse. Congratulations. He just got a brand new job. Really excited for you. So that's awesome. Stephen, you were talking about our projects moving forward. What are developers thinking? We've already talked about how we think business is going to be coming back. What about the business of hotels and development and all that? What are you seeing right now at the show floor and beyond?
Sure. We're definitely seeing that I think folks are taking a real hard look at their new build or their refurb and saying, okay, how can we economically do this without compromising standards? And what products out there and what's available. And as I say, the what's available is huge. I mean, this supply chain from shipping costs, container costs, to time of delivery is really tough. And for a hotel, if you've got a planned opening, you've got to have the product. You've got a certain time you're opening. And you can't delay that. So that, I think, is where people are scrambling here, and they're coming in and saying, okay, what case goods can I get? What electronics can I get? All that sort of stuff is very important.
That's true, and we've done a couple of shows now on the supply chain challenges and issues, and I encourage you guys to go back to the novacancynews.com, check out our archives for those shows. And guys, one of the things that we've been talking about is you alluded to it, Stephen, the pricing of shipping containers. They've gone up from a rough estimate, from what I'm hearing, $6,000, $7,000 a container to $20,000 a container. That could change the shipping costs by $300,000 for an average mid-market hotel.
Yes.
do you see that affecting business going forward right now, or are developers just going, dang it, and absorbing it?
It is affecting business. It can affect quality, but I think also we're hearing a lot about financing. A lot of these folks are saying, okay, we still need this product. We're going to finance it now.
Right.
So they're spreading that 300,000 that you talked about over there. Hey, I just got to make a quick comment.
Yeah, please.
Colleen Norman here on your show says, have the airlines cancelling flights affected? I get my flights were cancelled, Colleen. Yes,
seriously?
it does. Yeah, it does. It affects it. I had to do a complete rechange with my flights, and I was flying into a hub, and I had to do a round the world trip to get here.
Oh,
so that's affecting business travel, and man, I hope the airlines don't keep doing that, because as people do business travel, they've got hotel bookings that they're committed to.
Right.
The hotels don't want to see their rooms cancelled. So I hope the airlines can get their act together there and not.
I hope so too. I hope you on that particular airline that's canceling all those flights this week?
I'm not on that one.
Okay.
No, I'm not on that one.
All right, that one. Fortunately, I don't really care, because I would never ever fly that particular airline. It's one of those things. It seems like it's a good deal. Then you get over there and you got to pay this, you got to pay this, you got to pay this.
Is that the bring your own seat airline?
Yeah. You guys remember when I think Ryanair was going to charge like $0.25 to go to the bathroom?
That's right. I'd pay $1 to get to the front of the line.
Yeah, for sure. So, Eric, before we get back to the topic, we are talking about airlines, for example. So, how are you finding the flying experience? Are you finding it that it makes you want to get out on the road more, or is it making you say, maybe I'll just stay home a little bit longer?
The airline that I use of choice, I probably won't mention them, but unless they want to sponsor the show. But I've always had a very good experience. Going back pre-COVID, I was probably on the road 70, 80 nights a year.
Right.
And having a dependable airline is very important. Obviously, being greeted and treated well is very important. The only thing that I see is that now that there's less routes that they were traveling pre-COVID, that the planes are actually pretty darn full now, which is nice. But I fly through Atlanta quite a bit. Atlanta's a very busy airport.
Oh,
it's still a very busy airport. Yep. And the 3 times that I have traveled this year, earlier this year, and then of course here in Dallas, it's been very busy. So I think that's all. It leads to the same conclusion, right? That things are picking back up again in the industry, and there's a good pulse to it coming on.
Yeah, and I love the energy that we're seeing in the airports right now. Everybody seems to be back at it. It seems very 2019, with the exception of the face coverings and stuff like that, which is really exciting. And I got to tell you, my early indicator, Stephen and Eric, about business travel coming back is whether or not I get upgrades, right?
Yeah.
So this is the situation that I'm seeing right now. When I went out to the Alice conference in LA last week, flying out, when the doors closed, I didn't get upgraded, but I was still number 8 of 30 on the list with 34 seats in first class. So I can imagine how many people got pushed up there. Coming down here, I checked in like my flight was say at like 110. I checked in at 111, and I was already like 3rd or 4th on the list. By the time I got to the airport, I think I was 792nd on the upgrade.
I'm gonna bump that status up, Glenn.
Right, and I'm a platinum guy, and I just achieved a 1,000,000-mile status on Delta. So thanks, Glenn. Get to the back of the bus. So I think that, to me, says that we are coming back as a society. We are out there traveling again, and business is going to get done. Because I didn't see a lot of families, to be honest with you, in that first class, right, Eric?
100%.
I went up, Glenn. I did a trip up to Wisconsin Dells to visit a property up there, and it's a family property. And when I was there, it was the time of day when I should have realised this. It wasn't that busy in the parking lots and stuff like that. And I said, you're not that full. He said, we are completely full. And this is a mega property. So the vacationers that were flying in and coming to these properties and filling them up was very, very exciting. And I'd come through, I think you went through Atlanta, I was coming through Charlotte. It was packed. I mean, it was literally packed. It was a ghost town 8-9 months ago.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. The first flights I took, I remember the first flight I took in earnest in June of 2020. I went out to Vegas for the reopening, and the planes were like, a quarter full, and, there was lots of empty seats on purpose, and that they didn't sell. I got upgraded. I had a number of upgrades on flights since then, but now, I don't know, I'm not happy about not being upgraded yet. I'm absolutely delighted that we're getting back to it. We could all finally earn a living again and have some positive experience. Speaking of positive experiences, man, we are right across from the trade show thing, and all the doors are open there, and we can see inside it. It is jam-packed in there right now, right?
Yep.
So you're here. What do you get? We already talked about how you're trying to get all of this information and stuff like that from people. How does that turn into now actionable insights for you? And what are some of the types of products that people are looking for and some of the things that they're thinking about? But actually, before we start talking about specifics and products, that supply chain issue, right?
Yeah.
It seems to make sense to me, Steve, and it seems to make sense to me, Eric, that what we really want is for people to kind of consolidate everything in one location. And that's what I love about what you guys do over there, is you really make it simple and almost like a one-stop shop for a whole lot of hospitality products. So for those of you who don't know, and you should, because I know you're downloading the audio version of No Vacancy, and you hear the ad spot every single day, but just in case they're being foolish mortals, tell us a little bit more about Almo.
Yeah, so Elmo is a distribution company. We have a number of divisions, one of which is the hospitality division, of course, which is why we are here. And we deal with the resellers in the industry. So these are the resellers that are supplying the hotels directly, the ownership groups, etc. And what we're finding is that we started this whole thing with TVs. And TVs are fantastic. They're a great lead-in. But what we realized was the properties need a lot more stuff.
Right.
And as a distributor, we can help them with that. Because the resellers that we deal with, if they've got to manage a lot of relationships with manufacturers, try and stock product, do all that sort of stuff, it's expensive and there's a lot of logistics involved in that. And we as a distributor, major distributor across the country, we can help with that. And time is money. What people forget is you might be saving $1 on a product, but you're spending $10 to buy it. And writing POs and deliveries and things like that. So we can consolidate all of that for people so that they're writing less POs, less checks, all those sorts of things. So that's the business part for us that's really important. How can we supply the industry efficiently, effectively, and economically?
Right, Eric, that makes a whole lot of sense to me. And one of I think the Achilles heel of any business owners is failing to take into the full account of what things will actually cost at the end of the day. You look at one thing and go, oh, that's X price, like you were just saying, but all the other associated costs absolutely change everything. How do you see that particular issue, Eric?
Well, consolidation helps them save money in the long run, because in our case, it's coming from the same warehouse on the same truck. So if you're coming with multiple trucks, multiple shipments, then your costs increase, your shipping costs increase. To Stephen's point, your time increases, managing different POs, managing different invoices, AP, AR, and all that goes into it. When you can consolidate under one roof, essentially Almo's roof, with our reseller partners that are here on the show floor today, it saves you time, which in turn saves you money, and it provides the product, the standards, the specs, the technology that the hotel needs to meet their brand standards.
Right. Yeah. So that makes tons of sense to me. So, Stephen, how many different product lines and stuff do you have, for example?
Oh boy, Eric, you might know how many. Well, you probably know that answer better than me.
So, Eric, why don't you take it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different product lines. I can tell you that we cover everything from TVs to pro displays to LED walls to mounting solutions to compact appliances, full-size appliances, commercial outdoor rated furniture. Really, a ton of different products and even services, installation, technology, programming, design that a hotel will need to build out their property if it's a new build, or if they're going over a renovation. We essentially can do it all. And I think the key, especially the partners that are here on the floor here at AHOA, is that to kind of piggyback on their expertise. We may have certain partners that are experts in DirecTV or experts in internet and bandwidth or telco, and to add our assortment to their lineup to arm them with an even greater arsenal of product to go out to their customers with. Right, and
one of the things that I've loved about our relationship, Stephen, is seeing the company grow and change and enter new product categories. And one of those things are outdoor furniture, for example. So it's interesting that you started with all the electronics, and the parent company is Almo Pro AV, that you really started to recognize that you could help hoteliers in lots of different specific ways. So tell me a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so Almo is a company. We're actually celebrating our 75th year in business. Yeah, incredible, right? Family owned, fantastic family, the Chakins. This company, Almo Pro AV, is a division of Almo. It's probably their largest division from a sales standpoint. But the other divisions are the appliances and also home outdoor furniture.
Right.
And from the home outdoor furniture, it was really quite an easy transition for us to look at the hotel commercial furniture, which is why we came up with Cape Soleil.
Right.
And boy, in COVID times, as outdoor furniture got crazy, Woo.
Yes, Stephen, I'll tell you, because that was, again, this is one of those trends that were already in the marketplace, but we saw an acceleration over COVID. We've been talking about this for the last number of years as an industry. All the major hotel brands seem, especially in the select service aspect of it, having outdoor areas. They realize people don't want to be necessarily cooped up. They want to be outside. And now, when you have a health crisis that kind of makes everyone reevaluate air quality, for example, it really, I think, has pushed it to the next level. So what kind of jump are you seeing in terms of demand for these products? And let me ask you the follow-up question now. How do you keep up with it?
Yeah. Well, we don't. It is.
We can't at the moment, but we're trying. We're trying.
You talk about supply chain.
Right.
It's really tough. People are realizing that, especially in some of these moderate climates,
Right.
being outside is just so much nicer. It's a better feeling, and it's more utilization of space. We went and visited a customer the other day, for example, out in Utah, and they've built a beautiful new office building, and they've put a cape sleigh outside for people, for their folks to go out and sit outside.
Great.
And they said it's the most used area
Of
that
their
they
office,
have of their office. And so I think offices across the country, hotels need to do more of it. I think that they need more outdoor TV so that people can watch the game outside, watch whatever show outside,
Right.
enjoy a cocktail. Because the thing is, they want the people to stay there at the property and enjoy the food and the drink and so forth at the property. It helps with revenue for the property. So they should make that very attractive for the...
It certainly does, and I will tell you guys, I've been spending a lot of time outside, and there's definitely products that have been in super high demand. I recall, I believe it was October of last year, I reached out to you. I'm like, hey, you guys have any of those propane heat lamps? And you're like, check back with us in May. Right?
Yeah.
I have a lot come into stock, so to Stephen's point, no matter what the climate, we can service that, and our partners can service that. So if it's the summertime and you want to do outdoors, as the weather turns a little bit colder, fire pits, fire towers, our partners have it all.
Ooh, fire towers, that's really great. Plus, you guys do outdoor TVs.
Outdoor TVs, absolutely.
Right? Right. So we're really talking about the whole outside environment as well as the inside environment, and you got their guests covered. You're really helping create a lifestyle that people are looking at. Michelle MacArthur is saying, "Hey, love your innovative strategies." And Michelle, great seeing you last night, by the way. Thank you for your amazing hospitality. Really appreciate it. So this is pretty cool to me. So when you're having these hiccups, and it's inevitable, and it's not Almo. It's not any particular company. It's the entire universe. You guys know, you're going to the stores. I had a friend I was talking to yesterday. They're like, the retail shelves are not as stocked as they normally are. Right. I'm seeing this time and time again. So how are you working through these issues to help hoteliers stay profitable and ahead, but dealing with all of these challenges? And I know it's really super complicated.
Well, as a supplier, it's our job to get out there and find what product we can.
Right.
And instead of focusing on what we can't sell or what we can't supply, we focus on what we can sell and can supply.
Right.
And that positive action has led us to be able to find solutions that we never thought we'd come up with. And so we've been able to be there for our customers, to help them open on time, to help them refresh on time, and all that sort of thing. So that's been our focus. And again, this is why coming to the trade show is great, Glenn,
right?
Because we can come across some suppliers that actually have product and no one knows about it, and we can get the word out for them.
So give us an example.
Well, mainly if you look at the compact refrigerators as an example,
right?
That's been a really tough one. Well, we have our own brand at Elmo as well, and even us, we're sitting there going, I wonder if they have any left over, right? Because a lot of consumers weren't buying the small compacts, so they did. So we were able to find a number of compact refrigerators on our own side of the brand. We don't want to disrupt our manufacturer chain that we have. Believe me, we don't.
Right.
But we were able to at least supply them by looking around and finding products. Then we have manufacturers, as I say, that reach out to us and say, look, we've got product. Are you interested? Yeah, we are. And we will take it now. Because normally we wouldn't probably deal with them.
Right.
But we will, to help the supply chain and get people what they need.
Right.
And Elmo, I don't think we've missed a beat as a company through the whole of COVID, because we've been out there trying to fill the customers' needs.
That must have been really super stressful, Eric. How did you guys get through it, not just business-wise, but emotionally as well?
Well, that may be a topic for a different day.
We've got the therapy hour coming up next, so maybe you should just hang out.
But I can tell you that we have a tremendous manufacturer relationships, and I think that we've really leveraged the strength of our manufacturer relationships for increased forecast calls, increased allocation calls, build forecast. Now, and those used to be 12, 16-week lead times. Now we're forecasting 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road, 18 months down the road, and some of this stuff is coming in maybe Q1 of 2022, Q2 of 2022.
Right.
But to get out there and see what's in the pipeline and see what's in the project, to talk to the ownership groups here and to get a good gauge of that so we can convey that information back to the manufacturers and they can keep building.
That's great. And Eric makes a super terrific point there, Stephen. So as we talked about at the top of the show, you're learning what people are looking for. You're learning if they're building, developing, renovating, all of that kind of stuff. When you think about timelines for folks, when it comes to supplying the products that they're going to be utilizing for their guests, what are you thinking about? What are you telling them? What are they feeding back to you?
We're trying to communicate to our resellers, look, let the folks know if it's a refresh and they can hold off for 3 months or 6 months, hold off. Keep getting revenue, keep your business open, and refresh maybe half a floor at a time or one floor at a time or whatever it may be, right? Stay open. The new builds, that's a little trickier. Right. For those folks, we're not really at the coalface with the end users there, so I don't know how that's affecting them. You probably know better than us on that side.
Well, just make something up. It's okay.
Yeah. The new builds are having no trouble at all. It's fantastic for them. Best time ever. They're swimming in it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your sweet lies too. It's all of us. Yeah. But what you're saying is true. So it's interesting that you're telling them don't order. That's really contrary to capitalism and stuff like that. But it sounds to me that it's more important for you to build long-term relationships and build that center of trust, so they'll stay with you for a long time.
Well, I'm in sales, so you can't say can't order or don't order. It's pre-order. It's pre-order. Yeah, it's pre-order. And they're doing it. They truly are. They understand. They're saying, look, okay, if I get in line, and because we have 12 warehouses across the country, we can stage product for them. So we can hold it.
Right.
And
cool.
And if it means that it goes out in 6 months, it's fine. We've got it held for you. And, of course, the other thing is with these price increases, Glenn, some folks have been very lucky that they did do that. Lock it in. They locked it in. Absolutely.
So that's an interesting philosophy. And I'll tell you, Eric, I've not heard that kind of thing before. You want to get your renovation done in 6 months, order it now. Don't worry. We've got you covered.
100%. I think to Stephen's point, he mentioned the property up in Wisconsin Dells of how busy they are now. Summertime, obviously, up in Wisconsin, peak season.
Right.
And so they want to, I think, recognize the revenue that they're getting in the summertime. And then when the property slows down a little bit, come winter, that's when I think we're going to see a lot of the big renovations. So come November, December, January, I think there's going to be even a bigger uptick in buying power, capital expenditures, going into the beginning of 2022 versus maybe right now in the peak travel summer of 2021.
So you've taken that, made actionable insights with all of the manufacturers and stuff like that to get them going now.
Right, put it in production now so we can recognize those sales come January, February, March of next year.
Right. Stephen, any observations around the whole notion of more products being American-made as opposed to being shipped in from Asia and other places around the world?
We truly wish it could be more American-made.
Right.
We've been talking to a number of manufacturers here who are really finding it tough with China right now because of the cost, because of the containers,
and also factory shutdowns and
the tariffs. It's expensive.
Right.
So some of them are looking at other companies, whether it's Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, and even in Europe. They're looking at Europe as well. Yeah.
That's fascinating. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, me too, because the costs are normally high. So this is where, and I don't want to, and I'm about as far away from political as you can get, but the countries have to make it attractive for the folks to build locally and supply locally. And surely that builds the economy. Again,
you stay away from the politics. I totally get that. I will focus on that political issue. I am a big believer in American-made products, and I have got some friends at some companies that do some of their manufacturing here, but not all of their manufacturing. And I know they're trying to figure out ways to bring it here. And in fact, the cost analysis, particularly now with what you were saying and the shipping and stuff like that, it's changed the financial dynamics of everything to make American-made products more viable at the same sort of price point, maybe a little bit higher. But that's okay for me in my personal life. I don't mind paying a couple of bucks extra if I'm giving Americans jobs, if I feel like I'm doing my patriotic duty, if I feel like it can be a better part of society. You know?
Right.
Yeah, Colleen says Team USA. Yes,
Well,
absolutely right.
Look at a comment before that too. It's true. Yes, construction costs are high. The price of plywood, the price of all these things. I just built a new home, and trying to get contractors was impossible.
Oh my goodness,
it's crazy.
We have producer Suzanne is nodding, I think, behind the scenes right now because she was having a whole lot of issues before she recently made her move to Florida to get her property in shape. It's been very difficult for everybody. Fortunately, I got a whole bunch of work done in February of 2020 on the Houseman Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse, so I haven't had to worry about that particular issue.
We need an invite over there.
I was going to say,
you all got to come over. I make some really good ribs, guys.
There you go.
It'll be freaking great. You guys got to come over. But I'll ask you. Maybe you guys could bring over the truck. So I got to order some of those propane heaters.
I was maybe we bring maybe we don't bring any food. We bring a heat lamp.
Yeah, well, I'll bring the food because you guys, I love all the cooking and stuff like that. Hold on, Suzanne is making a mention, or we could have a smoke fest in Florida. Yeah, yeah, we certainly could. And I want to, so Stephen, you've been traded to Team America from Team New Zealand over there. How cool is it now being an American citizen and stuff like that? Even with the last couple of years, how does it feel to have this be your home and all of that kind of stuff?
I can't even begin to tell you. I came here 23 years ago,
right,
with my family, and we made this our home, and we love this country, and we've been through some trials and tribulations with the country, so you really feel like you're part of rebuilding when this stuff happens. And being a part of this industry, the hospitality industry, which is very unique, believe me, in the commercial world, the hospitality is very unique, and truly blessed to be a part of this industry because the folks here are so friendly. They've survived a traumatic year and a bit, right? And they're still pumping, and it's going to come back. So no, I'm a proud USA citizen for sure.
That's really awesome. I absolutely love that you feel that way about our country. And so I'm so lucky I got to. I was born in the Northeast United States. I really won the lottery on that one. I'll tell you. She says we're having a Rain Fest in Florida. Rain Fest, also coincidentally the worst name for a deli concert festival ever, by the way. Eric, what are you thinking about now when you're looking forward? Are you feeling pretty bullish on opportunities out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just from talking to some of our customers and manufacturer partners that are here, some of the brands that are here, there's definitely a great buzz and a great energy, and we're essentially here supporting them. We're going around. We have a lot of product in a lot of their booths. So if you are on the show floor and you're listening, or you're coming here today, definitely check out. We have a lot of partners on the floor showcasing a lot of really cool stuff.
Excellent, Stephen. What about you? What are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about the resurgence of the industry. I really am. We've been focused on that for a while, and I just feel that to see everybody come back, be profitable, to get back to the normality that we would all like to see, even though it'll be a different norm. That's okay. No issue there. I want to make sure we're doing our part to this revival. Yeah,
that's great. And the good thing about working with these guys over at Alamo Hospitality is they really want to be great partners. They've been a great partner of mine for the last 2.5, 3 years or so at this point. It's been a while, I think, already. But what I really love about the relationship is you guys are all just so genuinely nice people that want to work together to help people find mutual success. So before we wrap up, I know if you're here, you're going to go find them on the trade show. But what if they're not here? What if they're watching the show? What if they're watching this rebroadcast 2 hours from now, 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now? How do we find you guys? Stephen or Eric, you want to take that one?
You can go to alamo.com. You can my contact information is here on the AHOA tag. You can find me, scan me, look at us up in the directory. Look at our partners on the show floor today as well. And we're always close.
We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're all over the place. So look us up, man. We'd love to chat with you.
Excellent. Or just drop me a line, and I will help you get connected with those guys. Guys, thank you so much for being here today.
Glenn,
nice
thank
to
you
be
so
with you,
much.
Glenn.
I really appreciate it. All right, I'm just going to wrap up the show. I know we normally go a little bit longer, but that's okay. We got lots of great content, and I've got a lot more content to record and broadcast while we're here live from AHOACon 21. It's so great to be together. It's so amazing that we're all moving forward in unison, and let's all keep up the good times, find success together, and have a great time. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and as Anthony likes to say, take care of yourself. We'll see you all tomorrow. No, today's Thursday. I won't see any of you tomorrow because I am going to be tired and in a coma. I'll see you next week. Peace out.
Thanks.